friends, welcome back to my channel. This is Jude, and today I'm going to discuss about why I love both the Latin Mass or the TLM and the Novus Ordo. I've never done a video regarding the reasons why I love both forms of masses, the extraordinary and the ordinary. Let's first talk about what is the Novus Ordo Mass or New Order. So the Novus Ordo was revised during the Second Vatican Council in the 1960s. The revisions included allowing Mass to be celebrated in the local language or vernacular and removing some prayers. What is the TLM or traditional Latin Mass? It is often referred to masses offered according to the Missal of 1962, declared extraordinary form by Pope Benedict XVI. Now, there's two great videos that I'm going to link below if you want to go into detail and really examine the differences point by point between the Novus Ordo and the TLM. One is by Dr. Taylor Marshall, where he gives 10 differences between them. Another video that I love is from Father Chris Alar, who's from Divine Mercy. And so he does a great job. It's in two parts discussing the differences between both types of masses. Now, my experience, I primarily attend the Novus Ordo Mass, which is the Mass that's celebrated at my parish church. And it's the Mass that I have known all my life. I've gone to Latin Masses. When I was in Catholic grade school, we had a daily Mass, and that was in Latin. But growing up, I went to a parish that celebrated the Novus Ordo. So that's primarily the Mass that I've attended in my life. I do attend, I'm blessed to have a church that celebrates the TLM Masses, and that's about 20 minutes away from my home. So it's a Mass that's certainly easy to get to, and I will go there as well. I also have a shrine near me that's about 15 minutes away, and most of their masses are actually a little bit of both, the traditional Latin Mass and the Novus Ordo Mass. It combines elements that include the bells and the incense. I did a short where I showed the Eucharistic procession on Corpus Christi. And also there is more Latin that is spoken, particularly in the responsorial psalms and in the music as well. And I find that's beautiful. It's a mix of both types of masses. So I really like that. Now let's break down what I love about the traditional Latin Mass. Number one, it's the reverence of the congregation. And when we talk about reverence, what is that? What does that mean? That means a deep respect for Jesus Christ, for God, the focus on Christ in the liturgy, because the priest faces the tabernacle. He has his back to the congregation. Also, the silence. There is a definite silence which lends itself to a deeper communion with God in prayer and meditation. I notice that from the moment I come into the church. There's not chatter going on. There's not a lot of talk in the vestibule. You see lines and lines of people going up to receive the sacrament of reconciliation before they receive Jesus. So I don't know if you're aware of this, but that was commonplace. There were less people actually going up to communion at a time, and people just realize that they need to confess their sins and be in a state of grace before they receive the Eucharist. Also, another point is modesty of dress. Now, of course, you see a lot of women veiling in the TLM masses, and everyone seems to be very conscious of what they are wearing, a modest dress. You see more men dressed up in suits and ties, and women in long feminine dresses with their veils. So that's beautiful to see. And children too. Families that come with little children, and everyone is dressed up special. I think that's so beautiful, because you are saying to everyone around you, this event that I'm going to is so special to me and my family. I'm going to dress up to worship God. I'm going to put on my Sunday best to be in the presence of God. Not because God is judging you by what you're wearing, but it's saying that you have that respect and you have that admiration. You want to say thank you to God. If you go to a party, don't you normally dress up, even if it's getting clean clothes on and brushing your hair and looking presentable? And you should do that coming to Mass. Now let's talk about the things that I love about the Novus Ordo. First of all, it's the familiarity. It's a Mass that I've attended all my life, and I love it. I feel very comfortable and at home in the Novus Ordo Mass. Also because it is said in my language, which happens to be English. So I understand the Mass very well. I can decipher exactly what is being said and what parts of the Mass, and I feel that I can, because of that, participate in the liturgy. And that's something that I love, because I feel there's more of a connection to God, because I can offer those prayers along with the priest up to God. Now, there's also in my parish, they do a great job with fellowship and hospitality and welcoming. And we have such a great group of people who we give each other hugs, and we are so joyful to be there, to be in the presence of God and worship with each other. Now, I have had grace-filled moments, and I cherish both ways, both forms of Mass. So I don't judge anybody on maybe what their preference is. If you find that you are being grace-filled with the Novus Ordo Mass, wonderful. If you are being grace-filled with the TLM Mass, fantastic. So I think that Catholics should have the ability to participate in both forms of Masses. Visit those two links below that I've listed and get a better feeling if you're not familiar with either form of the Mass. But the Mass is so beautiful. And I think it's also, how do we come to Mass? Are we prepared to be in the presence of Jesus? Let's do a little preparation on our part. And you know, I always post the gospel of the day every single morning. So let's go over the readings for the day and what we're going to be hearing at Mass. Let's just take that time, even if it's the night before we go to Mass, read the readings so you are truly present. Give me your thoughts. I would love to know. Let's share here. Like I said, we're not judging each other. We don't want to do that. We want to be able to leave the comments below and let everyone know what form of Mass do you prefer? What do you attend? Or do you, like me, attend both It's all beautiful. It's all in worship and praise to God. So thanks so much for joining me here today. And if you're new, welcome. And I'd love it if you join our community. So hit that subscribe button. And until next time, Shalom.